Shooting USA is brought to you by Hornady Security and the new ammo cabinet. Keep your ammunition secure and organized and free up room in your gun safe with the modular ammo cabinet by Hornady Security.
Welcome again to the Shooting USA YouTube channel. We're glad you're here. An interesting factoid, some of our more popular videos see as many as 75 or 80% of you are not subscribed to our channel. If you like the content you're seeing, please honor us with a subscription. And if you're interested in full-length current episodes of Shooting USA after it airs on the network, there's a link in this video's description to our Vimeo channel. Now, here's the content you came to see.
Strap on your six guns, hold on to your hats. This time we're heading to the National Championships of Cowboy Mounted Shooting, the fastest, most exciting shooting sport on 4 feet. It's cowboys and cowgirls and casinos in Tunica, Mississippi, as the best riders set their sights on winning a national title.
Shooting USA's Championship Series, the race for the national titles in America's top shooting sports.
They've come to the mighty Mississippi, to the hottest spot in Dixie. 200 shooters, cowboys and cowgirls, itching to lay it all on the line in Tunica, a town where a roll of the dice can make your dreams come true. For 5 days, Tunica's casino resorts, Harrah's and Samstown, the Gold Strike and Horseshoe, play host to the Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association's National Championships. Competitors from across the country competing in Tunica's world-class arena, aiming to ride and shoot their way to a CMSA title. It's part rodeo, part Wild West show. The Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association honors the traditions of the Old West, celebrates six guns and 10-gallon hats, and promotes traditional American values and good, clean family fun. But there's a serious side to mounted shooting, serious competition. There are national titles to be won in Tunica, but the winning won't be by luck. It'll be the skill and the speed of the best rider and horse. The Cowboy Mounted Shooting Nationals, the only sport where a gunsmith and a blacksmith are equal keys to victory. It's horse and rider in a real team effort.
In this game, you have to have a good horse to get you there and turn on the dime, and he does it all for me. I give my credit to my horse.
Part barrel race, part shooting sport, with competitors riding preset courses, shooting 10 balloons along the way. And spectators have nothing to fear, since the single-action six guns fire black powder blanks. It is exciting.
Every time I go out, I get an adrenaline rush, and I just love it. I love the horses. I love the people. It's a good family sport.
It is a good family sport, and that's the way the founder likes it. Jim Rogers invented mounted shooting with several levels of competition for shooters of every skill. But make no mistake, when Jim Rogers rides, he rides to win.
Winning is important, but it's not that important. Just being here is important, the fellowship, and just seeing everybody having such a good time.
That's a big reason folks like to play this game. Even Jimmy Allen and Sandy Moore, who are among the favorites to win.
There's not a bigger thrill that I've found that you can do a horseback. Nothing better in the Western way of life.
Love it. Love it. I mean, women with guns. I mean, can it get any better than that?
No, not much. The shooters run 2 stages a day over 3 days of competition. Fast total time over all 6 stages claims the national title. At the end of stage 1, Tammy Billingsley, Diane Holmes Purcelli, and Teresa Cox rank 1, 2, and 3 for the women. Diane Holmes Purcelli comes into stage 2 in 2nd place and runs another very fast time. Just as important, she breaks all the balloons. In 24.807, Diane sets the time to beat. Then Teresa Cox takes off fast and steady. Clean on her targets. Teresa takes the lead on stage 2 by 7/10 of a second in 24.097. That also puts Teresa first overall, with Sandy Moore yet to ride. As this cowgirl digs to the finish line, it's going to be close. 24.603, half a second behind Teresa. So by the end of day 1, Teresa Cox is on top. Diane Holmes-Purcelli is just 1/10 back. Debbie Doyle is 3rd, and Sandy Moore has moved up to 4th. The Stage 1 leaders in the men's competition are a who's who of champions. Super teen Chad Little is up by 6/10. Jimmy Allen, Matt Srantz, and Kurt Moore are close behind. Rising star John Clark gives notice, though, to every rider in Tunica. With a run of 21.8, this newcomer sets the time to beat. Jimmy Allen is next, and he hangs it all out on his quarter horse Barbarossa. John Clark's lead doesn't stand up long in the face of Jimmy's 6 guns. 6/100ths of a second better, and Jimmy steps into first. But a few shooters later, Kurt Moore does the same, fast and smooth. Kurt cleans the balloons and rides the rundown to a new fast time, 21.557. Now, Stage 1 leader Chad Little is up on the back of super horse Ricochet. Folks, sit back and watch what makes this teenaged mounted shooter a star. And 20.946 seconds later, Chad Little takes stage 2 by more than half a second. And Chad ends the day more than a second ahead of Kurt Moore. Jimmy Allen is 3rd on the leaderboard, with John Clark in 4th. Well, it's easy to see why Chad Little is a national champion, and he's got a little brother following in his tracks. You'll see him in action later. But coming up next, a close look at the equipment for mounted shooting, including a pair of first-generation Colts. You now know how the game is played. 10 balloons for 5 shots from each of 2 single-action 6 guns. Most competitors use stainless steel reproductions to guard against corrosion from black powder, but not the lady who shoots a pair of museum-quality Colts. The competitors aiming to win this match are shooting the gun that won the West, or a reproduction of it. The single-action Peacemaker is the CMSA standard, but almost no one here shoots 6 guns like Susie Beauregard's.
What I shoot is a pair of first-generation Colts, original Colts.
More than 100-year-old original Colts. Susie knows some of the other shooters think she's loco to shoot them.
Yeah, I catch a lot of grief about it, but to me, a gun is no good unless you're shooting it. You know, to have it locked in a closet where you can't enjoy it is not nearly as much fun as getting out here and using it.
And check out another piece of shooting equipment that's easy on the ears.
We use earplugs on our horses because we're shooting right beside their head a lot of times. So you just take them, they're real spongy, and you just insert them into the ear,
Susan Henning just wants George to be able to hear her when she calls him to the barn. But that's about it for fancy equipment. Time now for fancy shooting. Going into stage 4, the reigning women's champ is riding high in the lead. Diane Holmes-Purcelli is a half-second back, and Sandy Moore has jumped to third. Diane has trouble on stage 4, though, missing a balloon. But Sandy rides strong, under 22 seconds, moving her into second place. Then our leader rides the stage even faster. With a run of 21:152, Teresa Cox stretches her overall lead.
Yeah, Lady Luck's running with me. It really is.
But the next shooter shows the crowd why she's a former world champion. Annie Bianco-Ellett beats Teresa by almost 2 seconds, moving her up in the overall standings. Sandy ends the day in second. Teresa tightens her grip on first.
I felt really good there. I've been a little slack lately, and to have the fastest overall time at that point was just spectacular. It was fun.
John Clark leads the men after 3 rounds of shooting. Stage 4 is a wild one, too. Jimmy Allen barely hangs on in the saddle on this heart-stopping ride. His 18.279 second run is the time to beat on stage 4.
To run that course that fast, you have to run it wide open, balls to the wall, and don't hold nothing back. And some of those turns, I thought we were going down.
John Clark's fast, too. He cleans the white targets and makes quick work of the red ones. His time of 19.39 seconds is only 5th best on the stage, but it's good enough to stay first overall.
No, I was not expecting it at all, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't.
So at the end of day 2, John is on top. Matt Schrantz is right behind him, and Chad Little is third, with 1 day of shooting left to go.
So we still got 2 more stages left. A lot can happen.
4 stages down, 2 to go. Matt's right, a lot can still happen when you're shooting from the back of a speeding horse. Coming next, the final stages and the national title in cowboy mounted shooting.
You're watching Shooting USA and the Championship Series of America's Gun Sports.
Mounted cowboy shooting is a partnership between horse and rider. But with that one significant difference, the competition is essentially the same as in a number of other action shooting sports. Your overall time is your score, with the low score winning. So the times on the leaderboard are important going into the final stage. Watch this shooter as he clinches a national title. 15-year-old Charlie Little wins the Junior National Championship. Yes, Charlie is Chad Little's brother and one more shooting star. Outside, the grown-ups have their own work to do. Teresa Cox and John Clark are focused on today's final rounds and on protecting their leads.
My nerves are a little rattled, but I need to shoot clean and have 2 strong runs today and hope for the best.
I'm going to attempt to do it as smooth and as nicely as possible. That's what got me here. That's how I got to do it. I cannot change my plan.
Going into the final stage, Teresa is 2 seconds ahead of Sandy Moore and 4 up on Annie Bianco-Ellett. Teresa rides first, and it sure doesn't look like she's protecting any lead. Her run of 16.874 is the quickest yet for the women. That's going to be tough to beat, but the rider in third aims to do it. Then disaster strikes Annie Bianco-Ellett, a missed balloon, and she's out. Now just one shooter still has a shot. Sandy Moore makes a solid ride, but it's clear she's just protecting her second place finish with a run of 18.399. And with that, here's your winner, Missouri's Teresa Cox, national champ again.
Horse worked perfect. Got all my balloons, and the jitters was with me, but I'm glad to get it over with, and I'm very happy.
Now the men's final. John Clark holds a 5-second lead. Second and third are less than 1/10 of a second apart. No surprise when the leader takes off, John Clark is shooting straight and fast, just not too fast. The worst thing he could do is miss a balloon. The timer says 17.938 when John crosses the finish line. Congratulations all around, but John won't accept the win just yet.
I gave it what I could. It was a long weekend. We'll see what happens.
The man in third really lights it up with a run that's 2 seconds better than John's. But Kurt Moore isn't fast enough. He moves into second place. And here's what a bad case of jitters looks like. One rider left with an outside shot. Matt Schranz blazes to a new fast time. But his run of 15.5 seconds is only good for runner-up. So here's your new men's champion, Ohio's John Clark.
That's wonderful. I mean, it was a lot of hard work. It took a lot to get here, but I just couldn't, no words can say it. I'm just as happy as can be.
Congratulations to Teresa and to John Clark, who won the title in his first Nationals. John has also shown us once again you can't miss fast enough to win. The defending champ, Chad Little, had the fastest total times over 6 stages, but he had penalties for missing 2 balloons. John Clark broke every one. But wait, there's more. Coming next, the champions compete on an even faster course of fire. You've heard the term side match. It's an extra competition not related to deciding the champions in a national event. Well, in the case of the Colt-sponsored Eliminator Side Match, the competition is faster and wilder than the main match. It's Saturday night, and the crowd is rowdy. But the finalists in the Colt Eliminator are looking for some quiet.
I try to just kind of stay back by myself and think about what I need to do, not what everybody else is doing.
Stu Townlin is one of 20 competitors, 10 men, 10 women, who have made the finals. Stu was third in qualifying, but preliminary times don't count tonight. The fastest man and woman in the finals will ride off with the titles.
So it's all out. You have to put it all in line for one run.
The course is called the Double Rundown, a straight shot down the length of the arena, turn and haul a horse back. Jimmy Allen has his sights set.
It's just down as fast as you can go, shoot 5 balloons, turn the barrel, 5 balloons back as fast as you can go. And to win it tonight, you'll have to leave body parts out there.
The women shoot first, and Lily Rogers doesn't leave body parts, but she does post the time to beat, 15.456. She knows a run of about 12 seconds is what it'll take to win.
I haven't made it to the finals except like 2 other times, and so this was really very, very nice.
The next 4 shooters have their problems. Then Pam Bound takes the lead, 13.242.
Everybody's good in it. That's why they're all in it. So we'll just have to sit and watch, but they got to catch me now.
The next shooter, Diane Holmes-Purcelli, doesn't catch her, though. So now it's up to the 3 top qualifiers. A teenage shooting star named Jessie Kuka, the reigning national champion, Teresa Cox, and the world record holder in the double rundown, teen phenom, Lauren Bullock, who qualified first in this match.
Yeah, it was a really big blur. Like, I honestly don't remember like anything except for like yellow balloons. That's it.
Jessie rides first and rides fast. Grabbing the lead with a 12.624 second run. But will it hold?
I don't know. Lauren is pretty good and Teresa's real good, you know. I hope so.
But is Teresa Cox good enough? The answer comes in just over 13 seconds, 6/10 slower than Jessie. Now it's up to the record holder, who gets some coaching first from Dad.
Don't take that duck. Don't take that duck. That's 3/10 of a second. Take it straight into the...
Then Lauren Bullock draws her 6-gun and rides. And 12.298 seconds later, Lauren shoots her way to a win by 0.3 of a second.
You know what? It makes it all the better, though. It's not fun if you don't have competition.
Lauren edges Jessie Kuka into second. Pam Bound is third. Teresa Cox fourth. Next, the men's event starts with a bang. Number 10 qualifier, Brian McDonald, shoots fast and straight, a blistering 12.210.
Probably one of the best runs I've ever had. Just made the final 10, real happy. Good run.
But national and world champs have yet to ride. John St. Clair barely misses first place, just a 1/10 of a second behind. Then a missed balloon, a turn too wide, and a horse with a mind of its own. 7 shooters down. Brian is still on top. Just the 3 fastest qualifiers are left. Stu Townlin, a former Colt match champ. Rising star John Clark in his first national match. And Top Gun, Jimmy Allen. Stu takes off like he's shot from a cannon. This will be close. Stu is just 8 thousandths from first, but a missed balloon puts him out. John Clark's next, primed for the ride of his life. A little wide on the barrel, but looking good. But John's time of 12.475 puts him into third. And then there was one. Now remember what Jimmy Allen said, ride as fast as you can, shoot all 10 balloons. And with that missed balloon, it is over. Brian McDonald is the men's Colt champ. The runners-up couldn't be much closer. St. Clair, Clark, and Tim McDonald, 0.3 of a second from first place to fourth. Congratulations to Brian and to all the competitors. And I got to tell you, cowboy mounted shooting is way more fun to watch than traditional rodeo. Thanks go to Jim Rogers, who thought up a terrific sport for riders and spectators. For all of us, I'm Jim Scout. Until next week, shoot safely, shoot often, and share your sport.
Well, you've made it to the end of another Shooting USA video on YouTube, and for that, we thank you. It does help the channel if you subscribe, like, and comment, and that will help us keep the content coming.